Hello, everyone. When nature rages, all humans can do is watch in terror. Ferocious storms, raging floods, and sudden landslides can wipe out everything in their path.
Oh shit!
Have you ever witnessed such raw, unstoppable power? Join us as we unveil the most chilling moments of nature's wrath. A catastrophic landslide struck the Badrinath National Highway, sending massive boulders and thick clouds of dust tumbling down, blocking the vital roadway. The thunderous crash of earth and stone sent vehicles and bystanders scrambling for safety. A colossal wave crashed into Porto, Portugal, sweeping away cars and injuring at least 4 people. Panic erupted as water surged into the streets, consuming everything in an instant. Amateur footage captured the chaos, serving as a stark reminder that no one can truly tame the raw power of nature. Days of relentless rain had caused the river waters in Meghalaya to rise rapidly. In the Dumnakura area, a wooden bridge connecting the Tura, Bagmara Road was swept away by the floodwaters. About 40 kilometers from Bagmara, the bridge now lies submerged with only the muddy, rushing waters remaining. A torrent of muddy floodwater tore through towns, swallowing homes, vehicles, and turning streets into raging rivers. Desperate residents climbed onto rooftops, seeking refuge from the relentless current. Nature's fury spared nothing, leaving behind a trail of destruction, mud, and immense loss. Can humanity withstand such devastating power? Or are we merely at the mercy of nature's rage? A severe rock slide occurred at Aqaba Hasna Maghrib, sending massive amounts of earth and rocks crashing down, blocking the entire road. The scene was left in chaos, with scattered rocks and people forced to stop, helpless in the face of nature's power. A catastrophic flood swept through Moulay Ibrahim al-Haouz, causing severe destruction to homes, roads, and property. Raging waters devoured everything in their path, leaving behind a landscape of devastation and ruin. This was only the beginning of the tragedy. When nature unleashes its fury, humanity can only stand helpless in the face of its relentless destruction. Two cars barely escaped being swallowed by a monstrous tsunami, creating a heart-stopping moment captured on camera. The Silver Dragon tidal bore in southeastern China usually draws thousands of spectators, but this time it transformed into a deadly force of nature. In a split second, the driver risked everything, slamming on the gas to escape the ocean's relentless fury. A massive landslide thundered down a mountainside, dragging trees and boulders in its unstoppable descent. A thick cloud of dust engulfed the area, reducing visibility to zero. Everything in its path was crushed within moments. Below, the once busy road was now a scene of total devastation, a grim reminder of nature's merciless power. a colossal wave suddenly slammed against the seawall, engulfing bystanders in a surge of violent water. Panic erupted as people scrambled to flee, but some were caught off guard by the sheer force of the ocean. Screams filled the air as chaos unfolded. A massive chunk of a mountainside collapsed without warning, sending an avalanche of rocks and debris crashing down like a waterfall. Trees were uprooted, dust filled the sky, and the deafening roar signaled an unavoidable disaster. In mere moments, an entire area was buried under nature's unrelenting fury. A devastating landslide struck Manzanares, Caldas, on the afternoon of March 28th, severely disrupting the Lanadas-Las Mercedes route and posing a critical threat of dam failure on the Santo Domingo River. Fortunately, no casualties were reported, but the situation remains perilous. Authorities have issued warnings, urging residents to stay away from areas at risk of further landslides. In Myanmar, a massive mining waste collapse triggered a catastrophic mudslide, engulfing everything in its path. The disaster caused severe loss of life and property, shaking the entire region. Rescue teams are battling extreme conditions as they desperately search for the missing in one of the most hazardous recovery missions to date. Nature raged as wildfires erupted across California, including the post-fire area in Los Angeles and Ventura counties. The flames spread rapidly, seemingly unstoppable, forcing entire communities to face a nightmare. And the sky was filled with smoke and ash. The power of nature turned everything dark within hours. A raging flood surged into a residential area, sweeping away everything in its path. Houses stood precariously amid the swirling waters as residents scrambled to escape. This catastrophe serves as a harsh reminder of nature's devastating power. On April 29, 2022, a ferocious tornado tore through Andover, Kansas, barreling across Andover Road at Harry Street. The roaring storm ripped roofs off houses, uprooted trees, and flattened structures. Residents desperately sought shelter as nature's fury destroyed everything in its wake. It was a terrifying moment, a stark reminder of humanity's vulnerability against Mother Nature's wrath. Nature unleashed its fury as powerful winds howled through Addison, Texas, just minutes earlier. The footage captured by cameras showed the strength of the winds, as if they wanted to swallow everything in their path, snapping trees and shaking the earth as if it might tear apart. In the mountainous region of Mugu, a catastrophic landslide struck Jotai village, sending a torrent of earth and rock cascading down. Residents fled in terror as massive chunks of land crumbled, trees were uprooted, and homes vanished within seconds. The fishing vessel struggled desperately against the raging storm in the vast ocean. Towering waves crashed down relentlessly, submerging the bow in white foam, while pelting rain lashed against the windows. Amidst nature's fury, the small ship seemed like a lone warrior, bravely battling the sea's brutal test. A ferocious hailstorm suddenly pounded the parking lot, covering the ground in a thick layer of icy white stones. The hailstones fell at an alarming speed, creating a deafening drumbeat across the lot. Vehicles bore the brunt of the relentless assault, risking dents, shattered windows, and severe damage. A terrifying storm struck Bulgaria, unleashing howling winds, torrential rain, and a relentless hailstorm. Streets turned into raging rivers, trees were violently uprooted, and roofs were torn apart as nature's wrath unleashed chaos. The raging storm wreaked havoc with gale-force winds toppling trees and blinding sheets of rain obscuring everything. The scene was pure chaos as roaring gusts and torrential downpours swallowed the landscape. A catastrophic flood and landslide struck the Kahari River, sweeping away soil and rocks, drastically reshaping the landscape. The raging floodwaters engulfed everything in their path, while the unstable earth crumbled, creating a scene of absolute chaos. A devastating mudslide cascaded from the mountains, crashing into the river, carrying debris, rocks, and anything in its way. The murky, fast-moving waters signaled nature's merciless destruction, leaving behind nothing but devastation. A massive landslide thundered down upon the remote mountain village, swallowing trees, soil, and everything in its way. The main road vanished under tons of debris, while homes trembled against nature's raw power, teetering on the brink of collapse. A violent hailstorm pounded Serbia, coating the streets and parking lots in a thick layer of ice within minutes. Massive hailstones slammed into rooftops, shattered windows, and battered trees, filling the air with a harrowing, relentless roar. Once again, nature unleashed its terrifying strength. A colossal landslide suddenly crashed down onto a village road, sending trees and boulders tumbling like an unstoppable avalanche. Villagers stood frozen in shock, some rushing to capture the chilling moment as nature roared in fury. The storm arrived like an unrelenting force of destruction, tearing through the land with howling winds and torrential rain. Trees snapped like twigs, roofs were ripped apart, and floodwaters swallowed entire neighborhoods. Nature showed no mercy, reducing everything to rubble in an instant. Nature never warns, and humans can never underestimate its power. When facing flash floods, storms, or any natural disaster, the most crucial action is to react quickly and evacuate immediately from danger zones. Nature's fury strikes without warning. Don't miss the most terrifying moments. Subscribe now to witness the most gripping real-life footage.